Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to one more of our 21-day challenge on Awaken Your Spiritual Neurons Empire. And today we have a very special and very powerful session because we're going to talk about light. Okay. Everything that we have done in the last series or in the previous series is for you to become to this point, to realize that everything turns into one single conclusion about yourself, about the reason why you exist, and the reason of solving the question of who you are. And the answer, not because I'm telling you, but because it has gotten into the point in which you should be able to recognize that you are light. And I'm going to start with something that is probably the deepest understanding that I ever had from all my previous beliefs. Okay. When I was around 7 or 8 years old, I started studying the Bible because I, of course, had to do that when I was in school. And without even understanding, right, I was trying to make sense of what God was. And I'm bringing the sense of God because you're going to understand what I'm going through. This is not a religious session. This is just a session for you to gain understanding of where you come from. That's it. All right. And there is a passage in the Bible in Exodus 3:14, which says, I am that I am. That is actually the identity that God provided in a sense of an answer, right? When actually Moses, kind of like asked, who are you? And then God said, I am that I am. And I want to bring that specific little short sentence into your awareness because what we have been talking about here is we have been talking about your brain. We have been talking about, how your brain cells make connections. And we previously studied something that is very logical to our knowledge, which is the fact that our brain, right, is a machine that produces connections. Those connections are moved by energy, they're moved by electricity. And at some point in time, when I mentioned the logic behind electricity in the brain, I mentioned that most of the energy that comes or that is spent from um, our body, right? It comes from what? It comes from the nutrients, it comes from the food, it comes from the motion that we create, the impulse that we create in our movement. So, in other words, in exercise. So, that actually generates energy, same as food, that it generates energy. And about 20% of the energy that is produced on a daily basis, 20% goes to the operation and to the functioning of the brain. But hear me out. Here's the interesting thing about this, right? Uh, your brain, in order to make connections between neurons and to connect one point with 10,000 other points or 10,000 other cells, right? It needs not only chemical reactions, which at the end of the day, they are also energy, but it also needs electrical signals. Those electrical signals, when they connect from one cell to other cells, they produce like little, let's say, electrical short circuits or electrical sparkles. So, what is and I want you to imagine this is something that we have actually done in our previous meditations. We have done that in our previous series, right? Uh, every single cell that connects with other 10,000 cells produce, let's say, approximately, right, 10,000 little points of light. So if you visualize and you do the exercise of visualizing, which is something that I am uh, specifically bringing to your awareness, this is something that we have talked in previous series. When you practice visualizing in your head, right, that there are so many points of light, right, visualize that your whole brain is actually light. And that's what it is. It's just light. It's connecting points, connecting little sparkles of light that makes of your brain a source of energy, a source of light. All right. And hear me out. This is not Johann speaking. This is science speaking. Right. It is proved in the lab that the brain is able to produce between 20 to 25 watts of electricity. 25 watts of electricity are enough to light a very small light bulb. So I want you to realize this is something that I'm bringing to your attention because based on that information that I'm passing to you, that I'm sharing with you, right? We can easily come to the conclusion that we are beings of light. That's the end of everything. That's the end of everything in terms of course, of understanding, right? Nothing, absolutely nothing. And there's a song that I like a lot that says, "Nothing else matters." Uh, I'm not gonna tell you the band, right? Um, but you can Google it. Nothing else matters. Okay, and the meaning behind those words, "nothing else matters," I just bring it to the attention that at the end of the day, our self identity, our true self identity, right, is not the identity that uh, we gain from what we do, from our profession, from our title, or from our position. Our self identity is not even from the things that we possess physically or materialistically, right? Our true self identity is the only one that relates to why do we exist and who we are. Our true identity, in my point of view, is that we are beings of light. You are a being of light, and I am a being of light. Okay, and there is, of course, a logic. The whole the whole purpose of the book that I'm writing, and the whole purpose of actually doing this 21-day challenge series, is to bring you to the awareness, right, that our brain is our main engine, right, to bring us to the awareness that we are those beings of light. And everything that we do to express and to manifest with the mind is energy. We already talked about it, right? Your thoughts are energy, your emotions are energy, right? Your expressions, your actions, everything is energy. And that energy, right, is basically what it is a source of light. So we, by essence, we come from light. And of course, at some point in time when we got into our living existence, that light somehow we, each one of us, we passed through a process, but at the same time we passed through situations in which that light, slowly started, you know to decrease, to slow down, until we got into darkness. We got into situations or into experiences that, of course, produced us so many emotions, so many feelings that were actually taking us, of course, into situations that are not from the light, right? What I want to say that is that all the sorrow that we have suffered, that's not from the light. All the pain that we have suffered, all the anger, all the rage, all the envy, everything that we have produced as a result of our repressed emotions, of our ego, has been the product of something that goes against being light. So this is the moment in which we really need to choose. We really need to, close our eyes and make a choice. Make the choice of whether we want to continue being in sorrow, which is not light, whether we want to continue being in pain or in guilt, and that is not light. And the thing is that the more we continue feeding those emotions, the more we continue feeding the importance that we are giving to those painful moments that, of course, we were not created to carry those. But if we choose, we can be there. Well, I know that I don't want to be there anymore, right? So I don't know about you, but if you want, that's up to you. That's your choice, right? But here's the meaning of and the understanding of everything, right? Why did I explain to you that your brain is light, that your brain produces energy, which at the end of the day, it produces light? Everything that is around you, right? You choose to interact as a source of light or as a source of destruction, of sorrow. There is a very interesting sentence, a quote that Wayne Dane, who rest in peace, he said, and it's also something that is very important to me. It actually got me a long time ago. And he said, "You can choose to be the host of God, the light, or remain the hostage of your own ego, which is your darkness, meaning your sorrow, your guilt, right? Your inferiority, your oh, now I cannot do this, your excuses. It is a choice, right? So I am assuming that since you are listening to this series, that you're choosing to recognize the essence of who you really are, that you're choosing to recognize and to self recognize that at the end of the day, nothing else matters. than the light that you are. And that's what it is. That's all that matters. So I want to spend the next couple of minutes, and this is something that I want to put as today's challenge, is to remain in the awareness or in the remembrance that everything that you do today, do it with the intention of being, sorry, my nose is a little bit, you know, allergics, allergies, sorry. So everything that you do today, it's with the intentionality of being light. And this is the challenge that I have put myself this morning when I woke up. I put on my shoes, I went for my running, I did my meditation, and I just brought to my attention that little sentence from the Bible. I am that. I am. And I absorbed that as I am light. Look what the source of creation has been trying to tell us from thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I am that. That light. And of course, it's something we try to define it. I have been trying to define it in terms of, of book writing, but at the end of the day, right, it's not definition because God cannot be defined, right? I am that. And the best way for us, or at least the best way for me, in which I found finally a way in which I can work with my dilemmas, with my sorrows, with my guilt, with my not good enoughs, was by bringing, every time that I feel like that, I bring to my awareness the sense that there is something within me and around me that it really cannot be defined as a simple word, just light. But I can choose to feel it from here, from the heart. Feel being the light. So I want you to close your eyes at this moment. And I want you to visualize, just as the exercises that um, I have written, in my book and in the source of meditation. I want you to bring to your awareness your forehead and that little point of light. And the best way for you to concentrate on that point of light and remembering the point of light is by bringing energy into that point of light. And how are you going to do that? By your breathing. Breathe in, expand your light. Breathe out, make that light travel all around your nervous system, all around your blood flow, and visualize how that light is simply showering you everywhere. Is showering every single cell in your body, in yourself. Breathe in and expand your inner light. Visualize how that light gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's a very beautiful golden light. That light, which is expressed, and we can actually see it. You see, this is the most beautiful thing. That light is so beautifully intelligent that it always finds its ways to remind us of its existence. It reminds us every day when the sun arises. It reminds us every day with the energy that is transmitted through the voice or through the sounds of the singing of the birds. That energy always is reminding us of the moving particles that are everywhere, from other creatures, from the plants, from the fruits and the vegetables that are being created for us to be able to consume, to produce more energy. And at the same time, that energy to become our own source of energy to feed ourselves, to feel, to feed the body, and to produce energy, produce light. I want you to gain the awareness that you are light, you are connected to light. Light and energy is so intelligent that it provides you with everything. It provides you with an engine for you to be able to use it in your benefit, in your favor, to create energy, to create mind, to create ideas, to create expressions and solutions. And everything within and around is energy, it is light. Keep breathing in and bring the oxygen, which is also a source of energy, but mostly a source of light. Expand your light as you breathe in. And when you breathe out, turn your awareness into bringing that light here to your chest, to your heart, so you can feel it. And if you need help, just put your hands. You can put your right hand, your left hand, whatever. Just I choose to put mine because actually both of my hands, because my heart is so precious, so alive, and that source of cells, moving cells that make that muscle pump blood, pump energy throughout my body. It also has the power of recognizing, of attracting everything that is for the good and for the best to me. So put and feel with your hands the same thing that I am feeling at this moment. Feel that you are light. Don't just visualize it in your mind, mentalize it. Mentalize the feeling, the emotion of flying in this magnificent energy that is called, or that we actually call, light. And just allow yourself to feel it. Feel the light within and around. That, my friend, that energy, that light that you have right there in your space of the heart, bring it back again up to your brain, up to your up level of the brain, And in a signal of gratitude, just feel the joy, feel the peace, feel the energy and the temperature increasing inside your body. Feel the gratitude for being alive, for being a miracle, for being a being of existence, for being greater than your own physical body. Feel the energy of the light transcending any limitations that you had put so far. Feel the gratitude of that light absorbing and taking everything that does no longer serve you. Feel the gratitude of the light being your source of healing in this precise moment. And tune in to the feeling of gratitude, of belonging, that because you have been healed, now you as a source of light, you're going to stand up, you're going to go and do whatever it is that you have to do to generate energy, to be energy, to generate light, to be light, and to share that energy that you are, that light that you are, with others. And slowly, when you're ready, open your eyes and experience. Allow yourself to experience being that magnificent source of light that you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you from my heart for this session, this very powerful session. And I hope that throughout the whole day, you remain as a beautiful divine energy and source of light. And I'll see you in the next series. God bless you.